Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator philosophy to help you keep your budget balanced, build your savings and investments, and knock out debt with confidence. Have you ever sat down, mapped out your monthly spending plan, felt totally in control, and then 2 weeks in, you're wondering how peanut butter and a half pack of tortillas is going to get you through the rest of the month? Yeah, been there. And you might be thinking, I thought I was doing everything right. But here's some truth. The problem isn't you. The problem is that monthly planning doesn't match how you live. You don't get paid once a month, your bills don't hit all on the first, and life definitely doesn't follow a tidy calendar grid. So when you try to cram all your money decisions into a monthly spreadsheet, it's no wonder things start to break. And that's why today we're talking about something better, a paycheck-based spending plan. This is where your income meets actual life. A simple way to map your money based on when it arrives and when it needs to leave. As the wise Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And the same goes with your money. If you don't plan by paycheck, you might miss where it all went. I'm going to show you what a paycheck-based spending plan looks like, why it's more effective than the monthly model, and how to set one up before the day is done. Let's ditch the chaos and start creating a spending plan that actually fits how you live. So what is paycheck-based planning? A paycheck-based spending plan is exactly what it sounds like. You make a plan for your money every time you get paid. Instead of trying to stretch it into one big monthly plan across 30 days, you break it into bite-sized pieces that align with your paydays. Think of it like grocery shopping. If you go once a month and try to plan every meal in advance, something's going to get weird. Day 26 is going to hit and you're eating saltines and freezer-burnt peas for dinner. But if you shop wisely, it's easier to adapt, adjust, and stay on track. Same with your money. The smaller the window, the clearer your plan. Here's how it works. If you get paid bi-weekly, for example, every other Friday, you make 2 plans a month for the most part. If you're paid weekly, you create a new plan each week. And if your income is irregular, like mine used to be, you build a plan every time money lands in your account and plan it out until you have the next set of dollars enter your wallet. Ideally, you should have some regular cadence, even if you have irregular income. For me, I would put my irregular income in an envelope. Then every other Friday, I would open that envelope and plan for the next 2 weeks while my envelope gets refilled. This does take some discipline. Don't dip into your envelope that's designated for the next plan. Each plan is built around one question. What does this paycheck need to cover between now and the next one? So why does this work mentally? Let's face it, monthly plans are rigid and can't adapt as life happens. It's like you're juggling 7 flaming swords while riding a unicycle, and then your good friend life says, hey, how about 2 more swords this month? While throwing them at you like a Major League Baseball pitcher's fastball. You likely will drop something, or worse, fall off the unicycle, and will be in some real trouble as the swords come barreling down towards you. But paycheck planning, it's like juggling 1 tennis ball at a time, manageable, focused, less dramatic, less fire. Then, when that good friend life shows up, you are flexible and ready. When you think in shorter windows, you're agile, prepared, and focused on what's next. In the Triggator philosophy, we talk about budget, save, pay off debt. And this system makes it easier to do all 3 because you're assigning jobs to your dollars at the moment they show up, not just hoping your math works out at the end of the month. Paycheck-based planning is a mindset shift. It's about matching your money to your life, not trying to force your life into your spreadsheet. So why does this work better than monthly planning? Here's the thing. Monthly planning looks great on paper. You map out your expenses, your total income, you feel like a genius. And then real life walks in, kicks down the door, and says, surprise, remember how you budgeted $800 for grocery this month? Well, it's the 17th, your fridge is empty, and so is your grocery budget. Or, one of my favorites, after planning your monthly gas budget, you get an invitation to your niece's baptism, who lives 2 states over, and now you have a fun road trip on the 25th. Life doesn't bill you monthly. Most people don't get paid once a month, and even if they do, they still don't get billed that way. Rent might be due on the 1st. The car payment hits on the 25th. Groceries happen multiple times a week. And don't even get me started on surprise school fees and random birthday parties. Your money goes out in waves, so your plan needs to match that flow. That's what paycheck planning does. The mental clarity creates less stress. When you plan one paycheck at a time, you give yourself a clear start and finish line. No guessing, no floating transactions you forgot about. Just a focused plan for what this paycheck is responsible for and nothing else. It's like putting blinders on in the best way possible. You ever notice how horses wear those little side shields when they're in races or pulling a carriage? As we know, those are blinders. Why do they wear them? Because horses are easily spooked by distractions. Cars, people, sudden movement. Blinders help them stay focused on what's right in front of them so that they don't panic or veer off course. And honestly, that's exactly what a paycheck-based spending plan does for you. With a monthly plan, it's easy to get overwhelmed. The full month of bills, unexpected expenses, everything that might go wrong. But when you zoom in on just the next 7 to 14 days, you stay focused, you stay calm, and you move forward with purpose, just like that racehorse heading for the finish line. The distractions are still there, but they don't throw you off course. Your paycheck plan equals more wins. With a monthly plan, you feel like a failure on day 10 if something goes awry. You overspent on groceries, and now you can't make it to the end of the month. Boom! I blew my whole budget, and once that guilt creeps in, it's easy to quit altogether. But when you plan paycheck by paycheck, it's easier to reset. You get another clean slate in just a week or two. It's much easier to stay on budget when you're planning for a shorter time period. That momentum builds confidence, and confidence builds consistency. Let's talk about budgeting versus lifetiming. You might have the best plan ever, neatly budgeted down to the penny. But if your electric bill is due on the 9th and your next paycheck is the 10th, that's not a budget problem, that's a timing problem. Paycheck-based plans eliminate timing stress. You're planning based on what you actually have right now, not what you hope holds together all month long. So if monthly planning makes you feel like you're always behind, paycheck planning gives you the breakthrough you've been waiting for. So how do you start a paycheck-based spending plan? Let's walk through how to build your own paycheck-based spending plan. We'll break it down into simple parts, then pull it all together. Step 1, your income drives the plan. In a paycheck-based system, the first thing you need to know is when you're getting paid. Paid every week? You'll have weekly plans. Paid every other Friday? Great. You'll create a new plan every 14 days starting on payday. Irregular income? Break out the envelopes and set your own schedule. Your paycheck, not the calendar month, is the engine that powers your plan. Step 2, define your paycheck expenses. At Triggator, we call these your paycheck expenses. They are things that come up every time you get paid, whether or not they have a due date. Here are a few examples. Gas, groceries, a dining out allowance, date night, or your life happens buffer. These aren't tied to a calendar, they're tied to life. They don't always send you a bill in advance. Here's a tip, start with giving. Now this might surprise some folks, but I like to start out with giving, and not just because it feels good. It could be a tithe, a donation, or a support for a cause that means something to you. What I've found is when your giving is prioritized, the rest of your plan seems to come together with more clarity and intention. Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Giving first may require some sacrificing of a want, but it often brings focus to what really matters. And research backs this up. According to a 2022 study by the University of Zurich, people who prioritize giving report higher life satisfaction and financial confidence than those who don't. Step 3, Add monthly bills. These are the predictable due date items, things like rent or mortgage, utilities, cell phone or internet, car payment, kids' activities like piano lessons. Look at what's due between this paycheck and the next and add them in. Step 4, fund your peace of mind accounts. Every paycheck should contribute to your Triggator savings funds. That's your emergency fund, which is fully funded at 6 months of expenses, your alligator fund for those surprise expenses creeping just below the surface, and your savings goal fund for things like vacation, down payment, and big purchases. Deposits add up, and they'll give you that "I've got this" feeling when life throws a curveball. Putting it all together. Now that you've identified paycheck expenses, monthly bills, and savings, bring it all into one plan for each paycheck. Let's say that you're paid bi-weekly and your first paycheck hits on April 4th. Your plan should include giving, if you've included that, all the paycheck expenses, any bills due between April 4th and April 17th, contribution to your peace of mind funds. Now do the same thing for your next paycheck, April 18th to May 1st. That's it. You've got your 2-part April spending plan. Just a quick clarifier, this is not a monthly budget. You might be thinking, but aren't we just budgeting for the month? Nope, not quite. In a traditional monthly budget, you plan based on your income for the whole month, then spread your spending across 30 days or so, the first of the month to the last day of the month. With a paycheck plan, you build a plan every time money comes in. Your April plan might actually run April 4th to May 1st because your paycheck schedule is what's driving your timing. Adjusting for real life. Let's say more bills hit in paycheck number 2 than paycheck number 1. Easy fix. Move a few bills into paycheck 1's plan. This is where having a separate bills-only account with automatic drafts really help. You move the money into the account and forget it. The bill gets paid later, but the money was already moved and is protected. Here's a bonus tip. Turn big bills into paycheck expenses. If you've got a large bill like a mortgage or a student loan payment, split it across both paychecks. If your mortgage is $1,200 a month, and you're paid bi-weekly, move $600 from each paycheck into your bills account. Paid weekly, divide by 4. Automate the transfer so you never have to think about it. This smooths out your cash flow and gives your future a big, huge high five. There's a built-in check-in with this plan. You may have noticed you have a new plan starting on April 18th. This gives you a built-in check-in. Review your first paycheck plan and see how your spending actually went. If it went perfectly, you're ready to go for paycheck number 2's plan. However, if it didn't quite work out or life throws something at you, you can adjust for paycheck number 2. After about 90 days, you'll be rolling with a solid rhythm. You'll have built the habits to stick to your plan, and those mid-paycheck reviews will be quick and painless. Once you try this system, you'll see why paycheck planning isn't just more practical, it's more peaceful. We want to help you with your spending plan. If you're thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually organize all this? That's exactly why we created the Triggator app. It's built around paycheck-based planning because that's how real life works. You can track your paycheck cycles, split expenses, automate goals, and build your peace of mind fund all in one place. The Triggator app is launching in June, so go to Triggator.com and pre-register so you'll get notified once it's available and secure your free trial. When the money shows up, you can give it marching orders every single time. That's how you stop letting your paycheck drift and start putting it to work. Let's cover a few common struggles and some of their solutions. All right, so now you know how to set up your paycheck plan. But what happens if things don't go quite as smoothly as you hoped? Let's talk about some of the most common challenges people hit with this system and how to handle them like a pro. Struggle 1, my income is inconsistent. If you're a freelancer, self-employed, work in sales, or just have a job with variable hours, this is a big one. The fix? Build your plan after the money arrives, not before. Paycheck-based planning doesn't mean you always know what's coming. It means you know how to plan when it does come in. You can also create a baseline plan for the essentials, then add optional categories for when you have a higher income week or month. Think of it like a video game. Level 1 is survive and pay essentials. Level 2, save, pay off debt, and plan ahead. Your income determines what level you unlock each time you get paid. Struggle number 2. I'm starting mid-month. Do I need to wait until next month to begin? Not at all. Paycheck planning is plug and play. You don't need to sync it up with the new month. This is a great chance for you to start now, today. Start with your next paycheck, even if it's on the 23rd or the 9th. Your system starts the moment your paycheck shows up and just keeps rolling forward from there. One of the best parts of paycheck planning is that it adapts to your schedule, not the calendar's. Struggle number 3. I made a plan, but life happened and I blew it. First, welcome to the club. Plans don't go perfectly. That's not a sign to quit. That's just a cue to adjust. You overspent on groceries, the car battery died, the dog ate your bank account. That's what your life happens category and alligator funds are for. One of my favorite quotes that's attributed to Benjamin Franklin says, "If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail." The goal isn't perfection, it's progress, and the flexibility to pivot without panic. Some quick fixes that help. Use a bills-only account with autopay so timing mismatches don't trip you up. Schedule check-ins at the midpoint between paychecks to rebalance if needed. Automate transfers to savings and your bills account so the money's protected before you're tempted to spend it. Keep your plan visual. In the Triggator app, a notebook, or a spreadsheet. Seeing it means sticking with it. Remember, you're building a system that supports your life, not one that adds more stress. The beauty of paycheck-based planning isn't just that it works, it's that it keeps working even when life doesn't go according to plan. All right, there you have it. A paycheck-based spending plan that actually matches how you live. Let's do a quick recap. You learned why monthly planning often fails and why planning by paycheck gives you better clarity and control. You saw how to build a plan step by step: income, giving, paycheck expenses, monthly expenses, and peace of mind savings. You walked through real world challenges, and now you have real solutions. You're not just surviving until payday anymore. You're strategizing. You're steering. You're becoming someone who's mastering their money. If this episode helped you, do me a quick favor. Follow or subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single step in your money journey. Leave a review. Seriously, it helps more than you know and tells me what's resonating with you. And share this episode with a friend, your spouse, or even a coworker who always says, "Is it payday yet?" Got a question or a win? I want to hear from you. Send your success story, question, or even your current struggle to podcast@Triggator.com. I read every message, and your story might show up on a future episode with your permission, of course. And don't forget to follow us at Triggator on Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube. We post tips, tools, and even challenges to help you take action and stay motivated. Tomorrow's episode is all about your money mindset. We're calling it Mind Over Money, How Your Beliefs Shape Your Budget. If you've ever thought, "I'm just bad with money," or "I'll never get ahead," then you don't want to miss it, because those thoughts might be what's holding you back more than the numbers. Until next time, keep your paycheck plan driven, your gators fed, and your mindset strong. This is Nate Tanner, and you're listening to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. See you tomorrow.